guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make the Valentine's crochet halter dress. So this is inspired by our previous projects, which is the Valentine's bralette as well as the Valentine's cropped sleeves, and now we are getting the dress version of this stitch, and this particular design is going to teach you how to decrease the stitch when it comes to the halter shaping as well as the back shaping of the dress. Just like we did for our previous videos, we are going to first learn how to make the stitch, and then we shall apply that knowledge into the actual panels that we are going to use for the dress. The dress uses two panels, the front and the back, that are later joined to make a perfectly fitted dress. So the materials that we shall need are yarn. The yarn that I'm using is milk cotton yarn, and each ball is about 140 meters, and I needed about 4 balls to complete the whole dress, and my version is a short version. And if you would like the longer one, then you need definitely more yarn. And then you also need a 5mm crochet hook, a darning needle, a measuring tape, and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. If you would like the written pattern, it's already available on all my online shops, and you'll find all the links of the written pattern in the description box below, as well as the related projects that we have made out of this stitch in the description box below. So let's get started. My demonstration, I will do a total of 32 chains, which is a multiple of 16, plus 4 chains, which is a total of 36. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. So this is my multiple of 16 plus 4 chains. Now once you get that the foundation chain right, you're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So counting from this one, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th you're going to place a double crochet, just like that. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th chain you're going to place 1 double crochet. So we've skipped over 4 chains, and then you're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and this will bring us to a total of 7 double crochets, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So from there you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next chain, which is the 5th chain, you're going to place a total of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, all in the same chain, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 3 and skip over 4 chains, and into the next 7 chains you're going to place 1 double crochet into each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you're going to repeat that: chain 3, 3 double skip over 4 chains, 3 double crochets into the next chain, chain 3, skip over 4 chains, 1 double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. So you're going to repeat that until you have a total of 5 chains left. As you can see here, and you should end on 7 double crochets and then be left with 5 chains at the end of the row. From here you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over 4 chains, 1 2 3 4, and into the 5th chain, which should be the very final chain, you're going to place 2 double crochets there, 1 and 2, just like that. So you can see we started off with a chain of 3 and 1 double crochet, which counts as 2 double crochets, and then we've ended with 2 double crochets into the very final chain. So let's go on to row 2. For row 2, you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet, turn your work, 2 double crochets into the next stitch, 1 and 2. Then from here you're going to make a chain of 3, and then into the next 4 stitches we are going to make 4 double crochets together into the next 4 double crochets. So starting with this one, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the first chain of the 7, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 so you don't finish your double crochet, and then yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, you'll have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, you're left with 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, you'll have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, you'll be left with 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, you'll have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, you'll have 5 loops on your hook, and once you have 5 loops you're going to yarn over and pull through all the 5. That's how we do 4 double crochets together. And then you're going to make a chain of 5. So on this group of 7 double crochets you should be left with 1 2 and 3 stitches, but we are going to do 4 double crochets together, starting with this stitch that has the very last double crochet in this batch. So yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch that has the last double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We are doing the same exact thing as what we did for the previous 4 double crochets together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the final stitch of the 7, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you have 5 loops left on your hook, and yarn over, pull through all. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 3, 1 2 and 3, and then we're going to increase the 3 double crochets here into 5 by placing 2 double crochets in the very first stitch, 1 double crochet into the middle stitch, and 2 double crochets into the 3rd stitch, which is the final stitch of the 3 stitches. So we've increased from 3 to 5, and then you're going to make a chain of 3 and repeat what we did here, the 4 double crochets together stitches. So after your chain of 3, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then repeat until you have 4 double crochets together. Just watch what I'm doing, or if you don't remember what to do, just rewind the video and watch this part because I explained it in detail. Then yarn over, pull through all. Then you're going to make a chain of 5, not 3, chain 5, and then 4 double crochets together, starting with the stitch with the very final double crochet of the previous batch. So alright, now we've done our 4 double crochets together, and you should see the resemblance between this part and this part. They should look the same. Then from here you're going to make a chain of 3, 2 double crochets into the next double crochet, and then 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row, just like that. So row 2 is basically done. So let's go on to row 3. Row 3, you're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, and then you're going to go into the middle stitch of the next chain 5 space, of the middle chain of the next chain 5. So this one is the chain 5. You're going to skip over all this and go into the 3rd chain of the chain 5, and you're going to place a total of 3 double crochets into that middle chain, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over all this, and then go into the 5 double crochets. We are going to increase the 5 to 7 by placing 2 double crochets on the edge stitches. So 2 double crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So you're just going to place 1 double crochet until you have 1 stitch left, and then into the very last stitch, which is this one, you're going to place 2 double crochets. All right, so we've increased the 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets. Then from here you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over all this, and then go into the middle chain of the chain 5, and you're going to place 3 double crochets into that middle chain, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, and you're going to skip over all this and go into the last stitches, placing 1 double crochet in each of them, and you should end with 3 double crochets on the edge, just like we have at the beginning of the row. So let's go on to row 4. Row 4 is going to start with a chain of 3, turn your work, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, make a chain of 3, and then increase the next 3 stitches into 5. And by now you should be knowing how to increase. You place 2 double crochets on the edge, then 1 double crochet into the middle stitches. So this is the edge stitch, so it will get 2 double crochets. So that way we've increased 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 3, and we are going to do our 4 double crochet together stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and repeat until you have joined 4 double crochets together. Make a chain of 5, yarn over, go into the very first stitch, this one that has the last stitch of the previous 4 double crochet together stitch, and you're going to place 4 double crochets together in each of the next stitches. Okay, now we've joined the 4 double crochets together, yarn over, pull through all, chain 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets, and by now you know how to do that. Then from here you can see how the full hat looks like. At this point we've formed our very first full hat. So after this you're going to make a chain of 3, and you're going to skip over 1 stitch, and into the next stitch you're going to place 1 double crochet, and then into the top of the chain 3 on the edge you're going to place 1 double crochet, just to mirror exactly what we have at the beginning of the row. Okay, so let's go on to the next row, which will be row 5. You're going to start off with a chain of 6, turn your work, and you're going to skip over all this and go into the 5 double crochets and increase the 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets. Okay, after this you're going to make a chain of 3, go into the middle chain of the chain 5 and place 3 double crochets, chain 3, increase the next 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets, and after this you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over the next chain 3 space, skip the next stitch, and into the edge stitch, which is the chain 3, you're going to go on top of the chain 3 and place a double crochet. And this is what you should have. Now we're going on to row 6. For row 6 you're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, you're going to place 2 double crochets into the very first stitch to make a total of 3 double crochets, chain 3, make 4 double crochets together, and by now you should be knowing how to do this. Chain 5 and then 4 double crochets together. Just like this. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 3 and increase the next 3 stitches to 5. Chain 3, we're going to do the 4 double crochets together stitches, so you should see the hearts forming. So after your chain of 3, 4 double crochets together, chain 5, 4 double crochets together. Don't forget, we always start with this stitch that has the last stitch of the previous 4 double crochet together stitch. Alright, chain 3, skip over 3 chains, and into the 4th you're going to place 3 double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. So I want to show you a few things at this point. Row 6 should basically look the same as row 2. If you're to look at row 6, it's the same exact thing that we did for row 2. Alright, so after your row 6, you're going to repeat from rows 3 to 6. 3 to 6, I'll be having timestamps in the description box below so that you can follow along easily. Just repeat rows 3 to 6 until you have the length of the panels that you need. Okay, so for the front panel of my dress, I did a total of 68 chains for the starting chain, and this is half of my considered hip measurement. If you do this and stretch it a bit, it goes to 20 inches. So in the beginning I told you I will be considering half my hip measurement, which is 40 inches for my demonstration. So this can stretch to 20 inches, and I did a total of 68 chains, which is a multiple of 16 plus 4 chains. And then I continued working my stitch all the way up until I got the length that I wanted. So for me, I did a total of 10 full hats. So the full hats that we are considering are these ones. From here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So after the 10 hats, I started decreasing to create the halter version of the top. And I'm going to be demonstrating how to do this, how to decrease this stitch to create a slant on the sides of the hats, the hat stitch. So I decreased for a total of 8 rows altogether. Let me just cross check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I decreased for a total of 8 rows to get to this level where I have a total of 8 inches across, 8 to 9 inches across, which I want for my top part of my dress. I don't want this to be so long. Now I'm going to teach you how to decrease this part so that we can create a slant on the sides, both sides of the hat stitch. So you can see this side is flat on the edges, and then when it comes to the top, there's some shaping going on. So let's see how to do this. So when you have your 10 hats total, we're going to start creating that halter shape of the dress, and should end on a row that looks like row 4. Row 4 is the one that looks like this, starts with 2 double crochets on the edges and then creates the full hat at some point. Then now we're going to the decrease rows. This is row 1 of the decrease rows. You're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, and then you're going to skip over all these stitches and you're going to place, you're going to increase the next 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets, and I hope you still remember how to do this. So we've just increased 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets. You just chain 3 and then go into these stitches. After that, continue working your pattern. Chain 3, 3 double crochets into the 3rd chain of the next chain 5. Chain 3, increase the next 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets. Chain 3, 3 double crochets into the 3rd chain of the next chain 5, and repeat that all the way across until you come towards the end of the row, and I'll show you how to wind up your row. So we're increasing our very last 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets. And after this, you're going to skip over the next chain 3, skip over the next double crochets, and then on top of the chain 3 you're going to place a double crochet there. So that has balanced what we have here and what we have here, and you can see the work has started slanting. So let's go on to the next row. You're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, and then you're going to place 4 double crochets together, starting with the first double crochet of the 7 stitches. So I hope you still remember how to do that. 4 double crochets together. When you have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all, and then you're going to make a chain of 5, and then 4 double crochets together, starting with the stitch with the previous stitch, starting from that space there. And these are 4 double crochets together, yarn over, pull through all. After this, you're going to make a chain of 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets, after this you're going to make a chain of 3, and then do the 4 double crochet together stitches, just like we were doing before we started decreasing. So the row goes back to the original pattern and nothing changes in the middle section of the pattern. The only changes that we are making are placed at the beginning and at the end of the rows. So you can see a full heart is formed at this point. Chain 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets, chain 3, do the 4 double crochet together stitches, of course you have to always separate them with a chain of 5, don't forget that. Then chain 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets, after this make a chain of 3 and then do the 4 double crochet together stitches separated by a chain of 5. So after your last 4 double crochet together stitch, you're going to go on top of the chain 3 and you're going to place 1 double crochet, and that marks the end of row 2 of the decrease rows. So you can see how your work is starting to come in, and then from here you're going to make a chain of 3. This is row 3 of the decreases. Turn your work. You're going to go into the 3rd chain of the chain 5 and you're going to place 1 double crochet, just like that. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 3 and increase the next 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets. And at this point the pattern just remains the same. I'm going to speed through this a little bit. After this you're going to make a chain of 3 and then place 3 double crochets in the chain 5 space, in the 3rd chain of the chain 5, like that. Chain 3, increase the next 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets, chain 3, place 3 double crochets in the third chain of the next chain 5, chain 3, increase the next 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets, okay. After this, you're going to make a chain of 3, and then into the last chain 5 you're going to go into the third chain of the chain 5, and you're going to place only 1 double crochet, just like we did at the beginning of the row. And then you're going to go on top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row and place a double crochet there. And this is what you'll have. This is what your row 3 should look like. Then from here we're going on to row 4 of the decreases. You're going to start off with a chain of 3, turn your work, and we're going to go straight into the 7 double crochets, and you're going to place the 4 double crochet together stitches. Like that, chain 5 and then 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches. So at this point we are done with the very first heart, and then you're going to make a chain of 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5, chain 3, do the 4 double crochet together stitches separated by a chain of 5, chain 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets, chain 3, do the 4 double crochet together stitches. So that's the repeat for this row. Just go all the way across. I know some people will have more hearts than me. Depending on your starting chain. All right, so after this you're going to make a chain of, you're not going to chain 3. After your last heart you're going to directly go on top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row, and you're going to place a double crochet there. So this marks the end of row 4 of the decrease rows. And this is what you should have. Your work should be coming in automatically. Then we're going on to row 5, and you're going to make a chain of 3, turn our work into the third chain of the first chain 5. You're going to place 3 double crochets, just like that. And then from here you're going to continue with your pattern. Chain 3, increase the next chain 4 double crochets to 7 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets into the third chain of the next chain 5, chain 3, increase the next 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets, and that's the repeat for this row. Repeat that until you come towards the end of the row, and I'll show you how to wind up. Chain 3, 3 double crochets into the third chain of the next chain 5. Alright, after placing 3 double crochets into the third chain of the last chain 5, you're going to directly go on top of the double crochet, the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row, and you're going to place a double crochet just like that. And this marks the end of row 5 of the decrease rows. This is what your work should look like. Now we're going on to row 6. Row 6, we are going to start off with a chain of 3, turn our work, skip over 2 double crochets, and into the third you're going to place 2 double crochets there. After this, you're going to make a chain of 3, do the 4 double crochet together stitches separated by a chain 5, chain 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets, chain 3, do the 4 double crochet together stitches separated by a chain 5. So repeat that all the way across your row until you come towards the end of the row, and I'll show you how to wind up row 6 of the decrease rows. So when you come towards the end, you can see I'm almost finishing. You're going to make a chain of 3, and then you're going to place 2 double crochets into the next double crochet, and then skip over 2 stitches and 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row. So this is what you'll have for row 6 of the decrease rows. We're going on to row 7. You're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, and then you are going to skip over the next stitch and into this stitch here before the chain 3 you're going to place 2 double crochets there, and then you're going to make a chain of 3 double crochets into the third chain of the next chain 5, chain 3, increase the next 5 double crochets to 7 double crochets, chain 3 double crochets into the third chain of the next chain 5. So repeat that all the way across until you come towards the end of your row. So when you come towards the end of your row, you're going to make a chain of 3 after the 3 double crochets here. You're going to go into this double crochet here, skip over this, and then go into the next stitch with 2 double crochets, skip over the next stitch and go on top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row and place a double crochet there. Okay, so this marks the end of row 7 of the decrease rows. So we're going on to our very final row. This will be row 8 of the decrease rows, and we are going to make a chain of 3, turn our work, and then you're going to skip over the next stitch, go into the next with 1 double crochet, chain 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets, chain 3, And then here we're going to do the 4 double crochet together stitches separated by a chain of 5. Chain 3, increase the next 3 double crochets to 5 double crochets, and you're going to repeat that all the way across until you come towards the end of the row. So this is what you should have at the end of my row, and I'll make a chain of 3, skip over the next chain 3 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then skip over the next stitch and 1 double crochet into the top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row. So this marks the end of row 8 of the decrease rows, and this is what you should have. If your panel is quite big, or you used let me say a smaller hook, and you need to decrease even further, you are going to repeat from rows 1 to 8. Just keep repeating from rows 1 to 8 until you get the length that you want, or whatever you're making. So you're going to have something that looks like this. So that means we are done with the halter shaping of our dress at this point. So for me, I did a total of 8 decrease rows, and after this I'll make a chain 1 and then cut my yarn, pull through, and that marks the end of the front panel. Alright guys, after your front panel finished, you're going to repeat the same exact process for the back panel. The only difference is you're going to do fewer hats before you start the decreases. So for me, I did a total of 6 hats. As you can see, 6 full hats from here, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 before I started decreasing on the sides. So you're going to make as many rows as you need until you get to your hip bones, and you should end on a row that looks like row 4, the one that starts and ends with 2 double crochets. And then from there you start decreasing the same exact way that you decreased for the front panel. I'll be leaving timestamps in the description box so that you can follow along easily. There are these rows, these plain rows, and then there are decrease rows. I'll be leaving all the timestamps in the description box for you. So for this I did a total of 6 hats and then decreased for a total of 8 rows, just like I did for the front panel. Then the moment you're done with the 2 panels, you're going to place the back panel on top of the front panel and make sure you level it up from the base, here. So for here you're going to decrease until you get to your waistline. That's where you're going to stop decreasing, but I did a total of 8 rows for myself, and I believe if you're using the same exact gauge as mine, then you should be having the same exact thing. You should need the same exact number of rows for yourself. So from here we're going to start joining the 2 panels together on the sides. So we're going to join from here all the way to the flat edge, and then we join this part of the front panel onto the slanting part of the back panel, and this is going to shape the waistline or that snatched look of the dress. So you're going to grab your yarn and you're going to start joining row to row using single crochet stitches. So into the first row you're going to attach, we are joining from the base of the dress, so attach your yarn and 2 single crochets into each and every row. 2 single crochets into each row all the way up until you get to the decrease rows, and I'll meet you back when you're at that point and I show you what to do. So for the back panel, I basically did a total of 24 rows and then 8 rows of the decrease rows, which brought me to a total of 32 rows. And then for the front panel, I did a total of 40 rows and then the 8 rows of decrease, that brought me to 48 rows. If you want to follow the same exact instructions as mine, those are the figures. Okay guys, we've reached the decrease rows and we're going to just continue attaching row to row until we attach the whole of the back panel, because the back panel is shorter than the front panel. So the moment you're done with the back panel, then that's it for the attaching. Just go into each and every row with 2 single crochets. Okay guys, when you get done here, I'll just place 1 more single crochet into this stitch at the end, and this is what you'll have. So when we flip over our work onto the right side, this is what we'll have on the seam line of our dress. You should have everything balanced on both ends. So once you're done with this, you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn, pull through, and we're going to repeat the same exact process for the opposite side to join the second side of the dress together so that it creates a tube-like form. And you can see what this has created when it comes to this part. You can see how the shaping of the dress has been created. So you can see this is the waist, and then we come out a bit to form the coverage for the bust as well. So let me go ahead and join the sides on this end the same exact way as we've done here, and then I'll meet you back to show you what the final shaping looks like. Okay guys, after joining the 2 sides, this is what we have. I've turned my work onto the right side. You can see this. We don't have the single crochet row. The single crochet row is on the inside, and this is exactly what we have. And the back is open, and then now we're going to create a strap, a very long strap, to go on top of our dress here and here. So we're going to start off with a slip knot and attach our yarn into the very first corner, and then single crochet into the same space, and you're going to make a very long chain of about 250 chains. I'll let you know how many chains that I'll make for my strap. So I've done a total of 200 chains, and from here you're going to make a chain of 1, cut your yarn and attach your yarn onto the opposite side, the opposite corner, and do the same exact thing. So starting with a slip knot, attach your yarn single crochet into the same space and then start making your chain, and make sure you have the same exact number of chains on this side as well as this side. Alright guys, after creating your straps, we are going to start lacing them up. So from the very last row before the decreases started, we shall place the strap there. We are creating a cross at the back, just like this. So into that last row before the decrease started, the row that resembles row 4, we have that X at the back, and then we have, you can skip 2 rows and then go into the next space, and then skip the next, let me say 3 rows, and then attach into the next space. So just do whatever suits your fitting. Then from here you're going to just make a knot at the back of the dress, and that is basically it. We're going to see the final look of our dress on the dummy, and that's it for this tutorial. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you liked this video, and if you're going to give it a try, and don't forget to check out the written pattern on all my online shops. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.